he's come out of the other side in good form as well.
That just
Bulldogs.
appearing from nowhere to take that short pass from his brother. That was a set move of beauty.
Well, it's a sixth sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
They've obviously had a chance to work on that, but that was a beautiful set move.
Yeah, but yeah, Alan's right. The Bulldogs, and it's going to be the Bulldogs, Titans, and Dragons down at the bottom this year. All three of them look like also runs, and that's being polite.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, I don't see anything in the Bulldogs in terms of, I don't see where their direction's coming from. Their best player they kept on the bloody bench, for goodness sake. Yeah,
it was a case of it felt like one of them tilted pitch games for me. This one, just everything was all going Manly with the ball. It was just all Manly with the ball. It felt like.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and the doggies can't do a damn thing right.
No. Okay, so do you want to take us through the standings then?
Yep. So after 3 rounds, the Eels and Raiders sit first and second on 6 points with their 100% record maintained from before the break. Both the Knights and Panthers have remained unbeaten, both having 5 points. There's a group of 5 teams on 4 points: the Cowboys, Sea Eagles, West Tigers, Storm and Broncos. Roosters, Rabbitohs and Warriors all have 2 points. The Sharkies, Dragons, Bulldogs and Titans are all pointless after 3 rounds.
And we sort of sense that
Yes.
might stay that way. Luckily, one of them's going to get some points this week because we get a Monday treat of that. But we'll get through the other fixtures first. Starts with the Broncos versus the Roosters on Thursday at 10:50 a.m. So obviously there's a chance there that we might see Herbie Farnworth again. I can't see any chance that we'll ever see Ryan Hall play in the NRL again. But,
not while old man Morris is playing like that now.
But we'll see about that. He needs to find another club, doesn't he?
Yes.
The Panthers versus Warriors, that's Friday at 9 a.m. The Storm versus the Rabbitohs. Obviously, we can see if the Storm bounce back or if Tom Burgess can get another try. Friday, 10:55 a.m. Then on to Saturday, it's the Eels versus the Sea Eagles. This could be an exciting game to watch. If both teams perform like we're sort of seeing so far this year, this could be a high-scoring, entertaining, try-scoring affair. 8:30 on Saturday morning. The Cowboys versus the Sharks at 10:35 on Saturday. Then it is our Canberra Raiders versus the Newcastle Knights. So see if George Williams can back it up again Sunday at 7:05. Get up early for that one. Then the Titans versus the West Tigers on Sunday at 9:30. Finally is the Bulldogs versus James Graham's Dragons in the James Graham derby, Monday 7:05 a.m. Are they all on Sky again this week? I think they are. I hope they are.
If they are, I'll be watching.
Yeah. Cool.
Should we talk about another match review?
We didn't get any.
None at all.
No.
Oh, my rundown must be lying to me.
All right. Well, do you want to tell us what you've got then, anyway?
So Fatboy Rob has been in touch to talk about the Bulls versus the Cheats 2001 Grand Final, my favourite ever game. Where, for those that don't remember, Bulls beat Wigan 37-6. And Fatboy says, as an added bonus, Sky showed Wigan getting an absolute shoeing right after the Eels match. Worth the watch just to look on the turncoat raper's face.
Yeah, this wasn't our finest hour, this game, but it was yours. Michael Withers was the star of the show, wasn't he, in this game?
You to be fair to Wigan, you ran up against a team who had all kinds of motivation, a team that was trying to overcome any kind of choker's tag, and we just blew you off the park. You didn't have a chance. You had if you look at some of the players in your team, it's quite a team when you look at it. But yeah, we just blew you off the park. It's as simple as that.
Well, it was a good team, yeah. But your team was riding high at that point in time. The Paul brothers in tandem. Michael Withers finishing everything off out the back. Lowe's was very good in this game. I remember being extremely pissed off with him when I was watching this game. I didn't watch it again, but when I watched it all those years, nearly 20 years ago.
God, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's unbelievable in so many ways that it's 20 years, but there you go.
And there was three future Super League head coaches on the substitutes bench across both sides in this game as well. Paul Anderson for you, and Chris Chester and Dennis Betts for us. And then add to that mix, Adrian Lamb started for Wigan, and Brian McDermott started for you guys. So,
James Lowe's.
Sorry? Oh yeah, Lowe's, yeah.
Got James Lowe's.
He was a Super League head coach, wasn't he? As well. And David Ferner as well.
There you go.
Head coaches everywhere. No matter how short their lead stints might have been.
I'll tell you what, there's a quiz in that somewhere.
There might well have been. We've missed out, unfortunately. But yeah, that was one of the most horrifying games, but you enjoyed it.
One man's yin is another man's yang.
Did you watch? I guess it was shown during the week, weren't it? So we'll have been working and not able to watch that. But did you watch on Friday night? They had the first Rugby League watch along. They've been doing it with the cricket, and it's been fantastic. I've loved watching it with the cricket, and cricket lends itself very well to having four guys talking about memories of something that happened, because it's got that pace to it where there's gaps to talk about it. And I did wonder how well Rugby League would adapt to it. And when Sky chose to show one of the most intense Great Britain matches of the last, of recent memory, as the game that they chose to do it with, I did wonder how that would work out. But it worked really well. So it was the 2006 Tri-Nations match where England went to Sydney. Great Britain went to Sydney in the beautiful blue sleeved shirt. And came up trumps against the Aussies and battered them physically. Sean Long added probably one only good game in an international shirt before he threw in the towel on his international career, because it had been too long a year for him and they had lots going on, which was a shame, because maybe if they could have kept that going, they could have done something more that year, that team that played that day. But it was it was a fantastic game to relive. And they had Sean Long, they had Leon Price, of course, off the back of the "I'd rather be on Blackpool Beach than Bondi Beach" comments. Brian Carney was the host, but of course he played in the game until he went off injured with a hamstring injury early in the game, when pretending he was trying to chase down the Aussies when they made a clean break. Ben Hornby, bloody hell. Who made that interception and break. Greg Inglis finished it off, and a very young Greg Inglis, in fact, finished it off. They also brought in, Brian Noble was there for the whole piece as well. He was the coach of that side. Jamie Peacock was the captain of that side. He was there. Phil Clark was commentating on the game, so he chipped in a couple of times too to the experience. But yeah, what a game to remember.
Yeah, it goes down as an all-time classic game, doesn't it? For internationally, wins on the other side of the world are a rare beast at the best of times. So it's remembered incredibly fondly. So it was a very good choice. I didn't catch it, but I mean, I've seen the original game many times before.
Yeah, and I think obviously people have wanted this sort of thing. Probably had to be an international game for it to not piss too many people off.
Not be too parochial, yeah.
Picked certain teams, certain win against certain team or whatever. Everyone will be getting up in arms, but it worked really well. So hopefully they can find a way to work in some other classic games with that. But it was really good coverage, really well managed and put together. And actually, you did get to hear some of the stories from those guys whilst also watching that game. One of the things I forget was that Lee Gilmore came off the bench to play on the wing, and had a great a great impact on the game. There was a try saver from him and a try that basically sealed the game, really. So
the classic Gilmore run, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the crabbing back inside.
It was the classic Gilmore run, but it was from the starting off on the wing.
Yeah. God, he
still found his way to run a second rower's line in the middle of the pitch.
God, yeah.
But the guys on there were everyone actually probably had an opportunity to talk about Lee Gilmore, and Lee Gilmore's maybe a player we should have talked about more in the unsung hero stakes, or certainly underrated players part of big teams, because this is a guy who won grand finals, part of dominant teams for Wigan in '98, for Bradford in the early 2000s, and then into the mid 2000s with St Helens. He really was part of some fantastic rugby league sides.
Yeah, he's got more grand final wins than 3/4 of the league, literally.
Yeah. And this game also, the forward pack that Great Britain put out. When you think about some of the people that are in that, I mean, just look at the amount of Dream Team appearances or amount of Super League titles won. It was Fielden who, this was the game where he got knocked out by Scumbag Mason. But Fielden and Peacock starting with Terry Newton as the hooker. He had a great game. It was Hock, who, say what we want about Hock, but talented player, and Gareth Ellis. Wow, in the back row with Sean O'Loughlin at loose forward. And this was before Sean O'Loughlin was the best loose forward in the world. This was just when Wigan fans were starting to realise that we had something on our hands here as a top class talent. But England coaches, Britain coaches kept picking him too. And then off the bench, you had Morley. Morley was kept in reserve. We're talking about one of the most physical enforcers in the NRL at the time, was kept on the bench.
Yeah, I know I'm definitely biased because I have, very fond memories of that shirt, the game, the team at the time. It felt like that it's one of the high points for Greater Britain generally. It felt like everything came together. So yeah, it was a very good choice, wasn't it?
And it also reminded that Long and Price were an old style halfback pairing, weren't they? They were not this modern split half situation at all. Long and Price were, and in fact Price defended on the wing when in the second half when Gilmore was on the pitch. But yeah, it was always Long was the general, and Price would run off him.
Yeah.
Great game, great memories, great side. Okay. And Gareth Rayner was there too.
Last time.
He had a good game. Okay, we'll have a quick pause and then we'll get the quiz out. Alan, are you ready for the quiz?
No, but we'll do it anyway.
As we kind of teased, you might have gathered what it might be a bit about. Can you have a guess what topic I've picked to do the quiz on? After the poll?
Is it about the exile matches?
It's about the exile matches. And more the exiles side of these matches. But I've got 5 questions. In total, 10 points are up for grabs across the 5 questions. You don't have to compete with anyone this week, so
that's lucky.
We'll go through them in turn rather than getting your answers at the end. But we'll see how we get along, and everyone can play along at home and let us know what points you got out of 10. So, question 1. Which player started for the Exiles in 2011 and then started for England in 2012? The only player to play for both sides in this contest or matchup.
I'm gonna say Rangi Chase.
It was Rangi Chase, yes, of course. You should have said the mercurial Rangi Chase, because I don't think you got to say that, haven't you? Question 2. Can you name one player, the one player, the only player who played for the Exiles in all 4 of the games that were played, the England Exiles games? So